Good morning, dear dignitaries and my dear friends. It's my great privilege and honor to introduce to you Mr. Arun Sehgal, Director, Human Resources for India Subcontinent for GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Healthcare. Sir has rich professional experience of over 30 years in HR, most of which has been with Gillette in various assignments of increasing responsibilities. He has spent his initial years at various manufacturing facilities, followed by a developmental assignment in London. On his return, Sir has done many important roles, which included Regional HR Director, India and South Asia, covering the company's various businesses, which include Gillette, Duracell, Parker, Braun, and Oral Care. In his last assignment with Gillette, he was heading the HR shared services for Africa, Middle East, Eastern Europe, India, and Asia Pacific regions. Mr. Sehgal's major strengths are in organizational development, mergers and acquisitions, employee relations, and HR services. Sir has been active within the professional management community and was the past president of Tele Management Association. Sir enjoys a beautiful family life with his wife and 2 sons. Dear Sir, once again, a very warm welcome to you. Dear Sir, the stage is all yours.
Good morning, everybody. It's a privilege to be here, and it's an honor to be here. So thank you so much for being so kind and for this warm welcome. I am humbled by this warm welcome. Honestly, I don't deserve so much of appreciation. In fact, someone who deserves this appreciation is not me. Somebody who has built this institution, and someone I have always admired. If you look at his career in the army, if I recall, he's probably the only army officer who was promoted as colonel, and he started his career as a JCOFI, if I'm not wrong. So friends, would you please join me in applauding Colonel Balaji for all of this. So when Seema told me that I have to come and talk, and I asked her, what's the subject? And she said, you choose the subject. I was delighted. And I said, at least for once, I will not subject you to death by PowerPoint. And especially some of us who've been working in these corporations and business corporations are so fond of PowerPoint presentations that it is within our blood. So I was so happy that I don't have to really make PowerPoint presentation because the choice was mine. So honestly, I haven't come prepared. And I said I'll decide what to talk. And so I've been kind of talking to Seema on the way, and I was talking to a couple of students who came to meet me. And I felt that you'll be listening to a lot of presentations and speeches and lectures about business and about management. And I'm not going to talk about business, I'm not going to talk about management. You know, when we started this day, I was again so impressed that we started with prayer. National anthem is a prayer, according to me. You know, you pray for the country, you pray for the people of this country. And then you pray to God for success and peace, and for all the kindness that God has showered on us. I myself am a student of Bhagavad Gita, and I've been a student of Bhagavad Gita for years. And the lifetime is not enough to study this book. It requires many lifetimes before you really understand what is being said here. And so therefore, when I was sitting here, I felt that, this team, Arun Subramanian's team, has definitely created a sense of divinity in this institute. And I always believe that unless you have the divine blessing, you can't achieve anything. So I think this institute is blessed. And I would pray and I would hope that this institute continues to be blessed. And you all will see the fruits of this blessing that this institute has. So you are very fortunate, extremely fortunate to be in this temple of learning. And make best use of your stay here in this temple of learning. And I'm quite sure that if you have this attitude of learning, you will do extremely well. And my best wishes to all of you. So when I thought of the subject, I think let me share my experience. And my experience of developing young leaders. And I used to go to the campuses and institutes. And I've probably been to a large number of campuses and a few campuses outside India also when I was working outside India. And during induction programs, I used to get all the management trainees together, young management trainees together, and there would be question answers. And in one of the induction programs, a student asked me a very interesting question. And I still remember, this was almost 16 years back, 15 years back. And the student said, "Sir, I want to become the Chief Executive Officer of this corporation. Tell me, what do I need to do?" Very direct question. And I applauded that question. The guy had the confidence to stand up and ask this question. The guy had the dream. And for a moment, I wasn't prepared for the question. But it took me 30 seconds to a minute to get my thoughts together. I think I did give an answer. Probably it was not the perfect answer, but I think more or less I satisfied him. But that made me think as to what are some of these characteristics that the youngsters need to display to get there. And this should be experiential. There are a lot of books written on this subject. So it's not rocket science. Anybody can stand up and talk about it. I said, let me try and find out directly from those people who traveled this journey, who joined as youngsters at the entry level and who actually became the CEOs. Let me go and talk to them. And it took me almost 6 months to 9 months to talk to about 16 to 17 CEOs. Maybe about a year, I think. And since I used to travel around quite a lot around the world, and CEOs or people who are very close to being CEOs, and I used to ask this question. And most of the CEOs were also not prepared for this question, and I asked them this question. I said, please tell me what are some of these characteristics you displayed which helped you to become the CEO? And you're not prepared for this question. But interestingly, they attempted and they answered the questions. And I would always make notes after my small little interview. And I compiled the data. And after compiling the data, you know what? There was a clear pattern. There was a very, very clear pattern. And people were saying same things in different languages. And today I want to share with you what I learned from them. And I am quite sure that some of the experiences they shared with me, and I'll summarize that and share with you in a very summarized form. And I'm sure you would find it useful because you guys are starting your journey, right? And you have a long journey ahead of you, 35 years, 40 years. And you have dreams. Don't you have dreams? If you don't have dreams, have dreams. All right? And you have a live example here who's sitting right in front of me, Colonel Saab, who had a dream. And so the first thing that they said is, think big, dream big. First thing. Always dream big, never dream small. Never think small. First question. They said, even when we started our career, we always used to think big. I always used to think, one CEO of a big multinational corporation, which is probably the second biggest fast-moving consumer goods company in the world, a very successful CEO, global CEO. He said, right from the beginning, when I was in school, I was in college, when I started my career, I always used to think big. I always used to think that I'm going to hit the corporation. And if you think big, you get the energy, you get the inspiration. That's the starting point of inspiration. Dream big, think big, never think small. And there are numerous examples. And they say everything is created twice in life. Right? First time it is created in your mind. And second time it is created in reality. Okay? An architect creates a building, first in his mind, and then he puts it down on a piece of paper. Everything is created twice. There is also a saying, as you think, so you become. And remember some of these lines, these are not my lines, these are the lines I have learned through the experiences. As you think, so you become. And this is a law of life, you can't change it. Okay? You think big, you will become big. You think small, you will remain small. You think success, you will have success. You think failure, you will have failure. That's the law. Who stops you from thinking big? Who stops you from thinking success? Does anybody stop you? If you think health, you will remain healthy. That is not who stops you. Nobody stops you. That's the first point. The second is prioritize. You can't do everything together. You have to do one by one. It has to be sequential. You can do multiple things. You have to do multiple things in life, but in your own mind, it should be sequential. You have different, and when you concentrate, then only you can focus. And unless you concentrate and focus, you can't get to the depth. Unless you can get to the depth, the best doesn't come out. So prioritization is very important. I still remember the words of one of the CEOs, Indian CEOs of the same company I was talking about. And I was listening to his lecture and he said, in my experience, I've met many executives, many successful executives. In my experience, the most successful executives are the ones who do few things, but which are the right things. And they execute them brilliantly. Few things, they do the few things, which are the right things, and they execute them brilliantly. Remember these lines. Don't try to do two things, it's not a try. We try to do everything and we think that we are working very hard and we are doing everything, our fingers are in every pie. Your concentration, your energy gets distributed. Don't distribute your energy, concentrate your energy. Single-minded. Just imagine if Tendulkar said that I want to play cricket and football and hockey and volleyball and basketball, what would happen to Tendulkar? He would be jack of all, master of none. That's the principle. Single-minded, Tendulkar said, cricket is my life. That's all he did. He didn't do anything else, and he's the best in the world. There are numerous examples. So, remain focused, prioritize. And there are various ways of prioritization, so you can learn that today. I will not talk about it. But do prioritize things in life. This is what I will do now. This is what I'll do tomorrow. This is what I'll do day after tomorrow. Do that. And they say that begin with end in mind. Start with end in mind. Then you'll be able to prioritize better. That's the second piece. The third is consistent execution. And these are not my words, mind you. These are the words I have learned from these guys. And from the top CEOs. Consistent execution. One of the guys, one of the CEOs told me, and especially in the US, if you are an American corporation and British corporation, and now it's coming to India also, he says, as a CEO, you are as good as your last quarter results. Because if you are in an American company, the quarterly results are posted, and the analysts actually play a very critical role. The financial analysts play a very critical role there. And so the last quarter results are good, you're doing well on New York Stock Exchange. If the results are not good, you have a problem on New York Stock Exchange. So you're as good a CEO as your last quarter results. So consistent delivery, the execution, but execute brilliantly. If you have dreams, if you have prioritized, it's of no good. Because at the end of the day, what's more important is, as they say, it is very important that it is converted into reality. And if you have an institution like this, and I'll keep using this example today because you can connect with this example, and some of you probably who haven't seen the past of this institute, I had the privilege of seeing the past and I'm seeing the present, all that had happened because someone decided to make this a reality. So execution. So execution is important. That's the third part. The fourth piece is people leadership. And remember that you are here not to be just managers, business managers. You're not here only to be business managers. You're not here only to be working as executive managers or marketing managers or finance managers. You're not here only for that. You are here to be the leaders. So the training here is you should become inspired leaders. And that's all about, success is all about leadership. Success is not all about acquiring technical skills. You should have technical skills. But the outstanding leaders are those who are outstanding leaders, outstanding CEOs were those who are outstanding people leaders. You can't get everything done by yourself. You need teams to do it. You need to inspire teams. The other dimension of leadership is not just leading your teams. The other dimension of leadership is leading your peer group. Leading your peer group. And leading your colleagues. Even leading your leader. You should be a leader in texture. You should be a leader as a personality. And your leadership actually comes out when you don't have the authority. Right? You all must be studying leadership in your curriculum. Alright? So you have authority-based leadership and you have situational leadership. So it is, if the situational leadership is strong, the empowered leadership is going to be much easier. So try and become leaders. You lead yourself, you'll automatically start leading people if you lead yourself. Develop those leadership qualities. Stand up and make presentations. Develop the clarity of mind. Be proactive. Believe in yourself. Alright? Acquire some of these qualities of leadership. You don't have to be necessarily competitive to be a leader. Don't try and be better than others. Try to be better than yourself. That's leadership is all about. And so these people did an excellent job in terms of developing their own leadership skill, and they were very good with leading people. People connect is important. I can't imagine any of those 16 executives I spoke to who are not good with people. They were good with people. They could stand up and inspire large numbers. They could inspire their teams. And that's how they became, and they could do that because they were good leaders. Leader is the one who can stand up and articulate his vision. And one of the leaders who's impressed me the most is Gandhi. And you listen to some of his speeches. And there are a couple of films in which he has actually given speeches. Or you read his speeches. You would find that he was such an outstanding communicator that he could connect with the individual who's sitting in the audience and inspire that individual by making that connection. So connection with the people so that you can inspire them is a huge quality that a leader has. So you have to develop those qualities. And the fifth one, and highly underrated, people tend to forget. And you will say that, what is this Arun is talking about? Everybody talks about. It's not that critical. It's not that important. But the truth is, remember this, and friends, what I'm telling you is something never forget. Never forget this. I have seen more successful careers of executives becoming failures because of this one reason. Anybody can guess? Attitude. Ethics. Values. Planning. Determination. All right. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are alert. All right. Friends, you are very close. Some of you are very close. It's integrity. And you know what is integrity? Somebody. Honesty. It is honesty. Simple. It's honesty. And its integrity is not integrity in terms of money. Integrity is integrity in terms of deliver what you promise. That's integrity to my mind. Deliver what you promise. Integrity is, if you tell somebody that I'm going to be there at 8:30, you should be there at 8:30. If you tell your driver that I'll give you salary on the 1st, you better give salary on the 1st. That's integrity. Integrity should become part of the character. I remember a very good case, and that's my personal experience, friends. And there was a very senior executive who was working in my corporation. He was doing an outstanding job. High performer. And he rose in the organization. And he was tipped to be one of the global functional directors. And you know what? We have to let him go. And when I tell you what is the reason, you'll be amazed. He went to a small city in UP. And he came back from that small city and he said he had gone for business to meet some vendor to supply. And he submitted his expense statement. And in that expense statement, he claimed 240 rupees wherein he had tea with some vendor. And that's what he said, I had tea with a vendor. And that's a real story. That's a real story. 240 rupees, including tips. The expense statement reached the finance director. Finance director sent it to the CEO for approval because protocol demands that the expense statement has to be approved by one level up, no matter how small it is. Somebody told the CEO that this gentleman had gone to that city for his personal. And I don't know why he did that, nobody understands. Why is it that 20 years later? One of those things. And he lost his job. Policy is a policy. It's misappropriation or whatever you call it. Such a small thing, and a lot of times we don't realize the implication. But there is somebody who's watching. Somebody complained. Remember these small things. And generally these things happen when you become you think that you're very powerful, you think you're very senior, you think that you have a lot of control, you think that nobody is going to question you. That's the time these things happen. That's the fifth one. And the sixth one is a difficult one. In fact, it's very easy to develop some of these characteristics that I talked about. That was my learning from a small little research from the CEOs. And but I found that the sixth one was, which made all the difference. It made all the difference. And I want you to guess that. And this one is really the most important piece. You have it or you don't have it. It's not very easy to develop. You have it or you don't have it. Can't do it. I'm not saying you can't. Some people do develop. It's a small portion. And that's what makes all the difference. I'm not discouraging you that you can't develop that. You can if you're aware. Some people will be able to develop very well. They are motivated and they work hard and they do some introspection, or if they go through certain experiences. But if you are aware, you know that this is very critical for an outstanding success. You can be successful, but if you want to be outstanding, if you want to be the top man, if you want to be the best, if you want to really achieve something outstanding, then this is the quality you must develop. And I want to ask, what is it? Yes, make a guess. Focus. We talked about prioritization. Passion is all about motivation. Passion. Somebody said it. Who said courage? Okay, what's your name? Nikhil. Nikhil had the courage. And very close. Courage to take decisions under adversity. Remember this, friends. Remember this. Courage to take decisions under adversity. The most difficult piece. When you are not sure if you take a decision, which way it will go. We can't even take small decisions in life. Whether to take, I'm not saying it's a small decision, and even sometimes we get stuck at HR or finance or marketing. It's not a small decision, but sometimes we get stuck. Whether I should wear a black jacket or a blue jacket, right? Whether I should wear a sari or I should wear trousers. Small decisions we find it difficult at times. But as we mature, I think we get over these. But this is what makes a difference. And all these outstanding leaders have actually taken difficult decisions with courage. And courage means what? What is courage? What is courage? What is courage? Nikhil cannot, Nikhil, right? You are not, somebody else. Yeah. Huh? What's your name? Mukul. What's courage? Ability to take risks, yeah, good. One more. Take initiative. Difficult and dangerous things. Yeah, difficult things, yes. Dare to do. Ability to take tough decisions. Ability to take tough decisions. Put your objectives. You know what? I think you guys are there, very much there. Courage is that you take decisions. Decision is an important element of courage. Those who don't take decisions, and there are a lot of us, and I've seen a lot of people in my organization and my various organizations, people shy away from taking decisions. Somebody else can take the decision because, shy away because I don't want to be held responsible if the decision goes wrong. I can't face consequences. That's the problem. I don't want to be held responsible. So courage and responsibility go hand in hand. Courage and ability to face consequences go hand in hand. So be bold enough to accept the consequences. Sometimes the decisions will be right, sometimes decisions will be wrong. Okay? So that was the sixth and the last one. So in summary, friends, why I am telling you these things is because I want all of you to be successful. I want all of you to be the leaders of tomorrow. I think you are brightest of the minds who are sitting here. Youngsters, huge energy. I can see that. I can see the energy here. I can see the passion. And I can see that you have the dreams. I can see that. Brightest of the boys and girls sitting here. And I want you to be the good leaders. To be good leaders. And believe you me, good leadership does not just mean that you are just successful managers, or you are wealthy, or you have 3 apartments and 4 cars, and you go abroad for holidays and you have jewelry. That's what success is all about. It is not. So good leadership, the essential element of good leadership is that yes, you should have success. Of course, success is a measure. But that success should not be we study, we earn, we have family, we educate our children, build homes, marry our children, and time to go. All right, by the time we turn, whatever, 80, 85, 90, longevity is increasing, Time to go. So what have you done? Reflect back. It's too early for you. But people who are old, if you were to reflect back, a lot of people, what have you achieved? They have a great sense of achievement. You know what? I came from a very humble background. I worked very hard. I studied. I educated myself. I earned. I built a house. Educated my children. Married my children. And yes, of course, you're supposed to do. That's your duty. But an outstanding leader is the one. An outstanding leader I'm talking about. I'm not talking about average leaders. He is the one who thought beyond his family. If Gandhi is respected today, and I'm using Gandhi's example, and there are 101 examples. Pick up any example from history. Any example. People you remember are the ones who work for the larger community. Others are forgotten. History students, look into the history. You read history of those people who did work for others, who worked for larger community. Hundreds of months. Any walk of life who reached out to large number of people, be it music, be it art, they reached out to large number of people. They helped large number of people, they led large number of people. They touched people, they benefited people. Because of their presence, people got benefited. Those people are remembered. Do you want to be remembered or not? Do you want to leave a legacy or not? So the time will fly. I know how time has flown for me. 30 years have just gone by. 30 years back I was also like you sitting here. Right? When I started my career as a management trainee, I was also sitting like this. I was a student. 30 years have just gone by. And if you haven't, and start thinking about it, you know what? If you are in the US, if you're studying in the US, or if you want to study in the US, and if you're filling application form, some of you may have tried. The application form says, what have you done for community? In the US, which is considered to be highly materialistic world. Maybe yes, but community is very high. Very high. I've got family in the US, and I've got children there. You know what? The children come here during their education, school, college, come to India. And they do serious community projects. Serious projects. And those countries that become successful, that countries become successful not because they only chase money. No, it's incorrect. Because they work for larger communities. That's how they became successful. Again, if you read history of successful nations, you had leaders who worked for larger communities. That's how they became successful. Now they are reaping the benefits. The new generations are reaping the benefits. So therefore, as leaders, this is the place you are learning. This is the place you are starting your career from. There's so much to learn here. And have the humility to learn and develop yourself and work, of course, work for your family, work for yourself. But as they say, the family should not be the limit of your influence. Family should not be the limit of your influence. Family should be the nucleus of your influence. Family should be the source of strength, the nucleus. But it should not be your world. Your world is much bigger than your family. So with these words, friends, once again, thanking all of you. Thanking Colonel Saab, the team here, for giving me this opportunity to be with you and share some of these thoughts and experiences I have. Hopefully, some of you will remember, some of you will forget. Try to remember if you can. It has personally helped me a lot, to be very honest. And I'm quite sure, genuinely sure, based on what I've experienced, that if you reflect on some of these things and introspect and practice, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you, and one day I'll be the happiest man to see that some of you actually become the outstanding leaders in various walks of life that you decide to make your journey. Thank you very much.